Do you know that every 3 seconds someone gets divorced somewhere in the world? That's a very high number. And what is more interesting is that these people that are getting divorced, it's not that they fell out of love, they just fell out of alignment. And we have been sold a lie that if we find the right person, the marriage is going to be all right. I know you must have done that. You must have thought that. But even if you have the right person without the right skills, you're still going to find challenges in the marriage. The solution to marital problems is not time, and it's not choosing another partner. It is having the right skill to manage the relationship. Today, I'm going to share with you 3 things that if you work on, you will have the marriage of your dreams. All the people who have good, thriving marriages have mastered these 3 skills. I'm going to share with you through the story of one of my clients. I'm going to use the name Jen. That's not her real name. She's given me permission to share this story to show you those 3 steps. Once you know them and you master them, your marriage will be on the journey to becoming the marriage of your dreams. So when I met Jane, she had given up on her marriage. She had moved out of her home and she had been living in the hotel for more than a month. She had tried several times to get the marriage on track. She'd spoken to her husband, complained, gone to her pastors. She had gone to counselors, which is what most people would do whenever they have a problem in the marriage. However, when she'd gone to the counselors, there's going to be times that the husband will promise that he's going to do stuff and nothing happened. Things will move briefly and then it will go back down. Eventually, the husband didn't want to go to counselors anymore. She was frustrated and she was hoping that the marriage would move forward. Eventually, she got fed up because she caught him connecting with other women online, and she moved out of her home, and she was staying in a hotel. Now, while she was there with her children, balancing her career, taking care of children, living in a space that was temporary, she found my video online on YouTube. And she watched the first one, she watched the second one, she watched a few more, and she began to think that maybe there's hope for my marriage. Maybe I can do something about this. So she reached out to me after connecting with my Masterclass. She reached out and she asked me a very interesting question. Can you recommend a good person who will help me and my husband to separate in an amicable way that our children will not be stressed and impacted? But I found that anyone that's reaching out to me has hope that the marriage can be fixed. So instead of sending her to someone who will help her separate and put an end to the marriage, I reached out to her and said, maybe you can develop the skills that you need to recover your marriage and begin to move towards the marriage of your dreams. And that changed the whole story. Now, there are these 3 things that I share with any client that I work with. And every time we follow this framework, it changes the direction of the marriage and it changes the life of the person. This framework is called the Love Workout Method, and it contains 3 C's. The first C is clarity. How clear are you about what you're doing in the marriage and who you are in the marriage? Many times we enter into the marriage with a mindset that the marriage is going to make me a better person. No one will get into a marriage hoping that the marriage will make them worse. We all have a desire to be better in the marriage, but we make one little mistake. We look at the marriage and we see that there's something missing in the marriage. But we also know that we chose the right person. We didn't make a foolish mistake in choosing the person we chose. We were happy with them when we met them. We had hopes, we dreamt together. But why is it now that what I thought is going to make me more fruitful, more productive, why is it becoming a nightmare? So we see those things that are not working. I'm going to show you those 3 steps using the Rubik's Cube. If you've seen a Rubik's Cube before, it looks easy to fix, but when you start trying to fix it, you discover that it becomes harder the more you try. Now, this one is almost fixed. And when you look at it, you will see that most of it is good, but there are some that are in the wrong place. This is exactly how many people are when you get into a marriage. Everything looks good. You are so full of excitement, so you ignore all the things that are missing. Now, when you get into the marriage, those things begin to bug you. And if you focus on them, you're going to mess up the structure because you don't know what to do. Not because you're not a good person, not because your spouse is not a good person. It's just because you're trying to fix the marriage in a wrong way. But when you know what to do, you will be able to fix it. So the first thing is always clarity. What do I need to do here? How do I show up in my marriage? As a victim or as a blessing? When you show up as a blessing, you're saying to your spouse, I'm here to be the best that I can be, and you can have the opportunity to be the best that you can be. So if I look at this Rubik's Cube and I want to fix it, I have to check, what do I need to do? Okay, now that I've looked at it and I know what to do, then I can try to fix it. It's fixed. Now, the reason why I'm able to fix it is because I know exactly what to do. And this is what I do with anyone that I work with. We look at how you are showing up in the marriage, and we try to help you to show up as a blessing and not as someone that's just trying to be not as a victim and not as someone that's trying to fix the other. The second C is commitment. When you're trying to build a marriage of your dream, you need to create a space where the other person knows that you are there for them. And for those who are spiritual, as a pastor, I encourage you to first commit to God. And when you commit to God, then through God, you're able to commit to your partner. That way, you are not demanding on your partner, you are depending on God to become a blessing to your partner. So when we work on commitment, then the next level is to work on connection, to build that friendship. And most people struggle in marriage because instead of working first on clarity, knowing exactly what to do, they start working with connection, trying to fix it. And the more you try to work on connection without working on clarity, without working on commitment, the more you mess up the marriage. And so if you want to have the marriage of your dreams, you need to work on those 3 C's. First, you work on your clarity. What am I bringing into the marriage? What is it that I need to rearrange? How do I show up? Then you work on your commitment. I'm here. I'm here for you. I'm your best friend. I'm cheering you on. I'm not condoning your wrong. I'm only standing with you to fix it as long as you are willing to. So we helped Jen move from the hotel back to our home. She was scared at first, but then she took the bold step and she went home. But this time around, she was not going there to show up as a victim. She was going to show up as a blessing. And she was going there to declare to him that I'm here to be the person that God made me to be, and I'm hoping that you would want to go with me on that journey. And as soon as she began to show up differently, he began to react differently. At first he was afraid and cautious, wondering what was she here to do. But then, as she consistently presented herself as a blessing, not a victim, as a person who is there, as long as he's willing to be there, he began to respond to her. Now, they are, of course, once that was done, the marriage began to move in a different direction. And then we trained her how to connect better, how to speak in a way that he's pulled in, how to connect with him so that they can do things more together, and how to make sure that whatever they are doing together is leading to a similar place, a similar destination. Once she began to do these things and practice them, within 2 months, the same marriage that was already completely done was now moving in the direction of her dreams. They bought a house together. Right now, after the training, they've bought a house together, and they're working towards building a business together. Now, anyone who has hope that their marriage can be fixed can follow these 3 C's. Learn how to find clarity, learn how to bring commitment, and how to bring connection into your marriage. And once you've learned this skill, just like I showed you with the Rubik skill, you will see your marriage transform. Now, if you want to know more about this, you want me to break down those 3 C's to you, then please join my masterclass. The same masterclass that Jane joined that initiated the transformation in a marriage. You can join that same masterclass by going to adesobanjo.com/masterclass. adesobanjo.com/masterclass. And then you can get those skills, those tools that you need to build the marriage of your dreams. I hope to see you in the masterclass. Thank you.